everyone, I'm Maria, and today I'm going to give you a few tips on how to cut your own hair. So if you haven't seen my video of me cutting my hair, I will leave the link down there, so you should watch that. The most important tip is use sharp scissors. They have to be preferably new. These are actually for cutting hair. If you don't use sharp scissors, it will give you split ends. Before cutting your hair, you don't have to wash it, but make sure it's wet or at least a little damp. I'm not gonna cut my hair again, but I'm just gonna show you a few things, a few tips. So if your hair is really long, like mine was up to my hips, what I did, I put it into two little pigtails up here, and I just went and cut across. And then I just let them out and kind of made sure it was even everywhere. After you cut it, you have to take the tips and just cut up so it doesn't look really straight and it doesn't look like you just cut it, but it looks more natural. It's different cutting straight hair and curly hair because my hair is curly, so you can't really tell if it's not that even everywhere because it'll be curly. It's different cutting layered than not layered hair, you know, because if it's not layered, you have to make sure it's really even everywhere, and that's really hard getting like the back of your hair. Before you cut it, be sure what style you want to do. If you want bangs, I'll show you how to cut straight or to the side bangs. So to cut straight, again, you have to wet it. Take a comb and part out wherever you want your bangs to go. I'm not doing this perfectly right now. If you want them like at around your eyebrows, don't cut directly right here. Cut a little lower than you want it to. And again, when it's cut, just snip the edges a little bit so it looks a little more natural. If you want side bangs, let's say I want them to this side, you're gonna take them actually to the other side. Cut in a parallel line. And when you let go, it'll look really nice. It won't look straight and weird. So remember, if you want them to this side, take them to the other side and cut across. And again, snip, snip. Also, if you want your hair shoulder length, just cut it a little below so you have room for error. Because what if, you know, you mess up, something happens. My bathroom has two mirrors, so I can turn and look at that one and I can see my hair in the back. That's how I saw if it was all even in the back. Now, if your hair is really long and you just want a little trim. So I don't know what happened to that part of the video, but it sort of disappeared. So I'm gonna tell you right now how to give your hair a little trim. Take your fingers or a comb and cut through, and also on the other side, and just do this until you make sure they are the same length. Now, how I got my hair layered, again, as I said at the beginning of this video, I put it in pigtails and just cut across, and then I took little sections of hair, cut like that. I don't know if that makes sense. So instead of just cutting like straight, I cut it. You know what I mean? I don't know how to explain this without actually cutting it. You can actually see in my video where I cut my hair how I got the layers. Again, it's down there, so you should watch that if you want more details. Now, if you have straight hair and you want your hair like a straight haircut, that's really hard to do yourself, but I suggest getting help from somebody. Do the first part yourself and then just get somebody to even it out a little bit for you. You can try, if you have a bathroom with two mirrors, one on each side, you can look in that one and then kind of look at the back of your hair. And, you know, I've always cut my hair in layers. It's a lot easier because it's just, you know, like a messy, nice look. It doesn't have to be perfect. A few things I forgot to say: don't be scared and don't freak out because then you might mess up. So just be calm and just, you know, cut it. Before you start cutting it, you have to part it the way you usually part it or the way you want it to be parted, because if you part it like down the middle and then cut it, it's gonna be uneven later. So part it as you want it and then cut it. Also, before you cut it, make sure you really want to cut it, because sometimes, you know, people have really long hair and then they cut it short, and after a week, they really regret cutting their hair. So make sure you really want to cut your hair and you don't regret it afterwards. After I cut my hair, I didn't regret it. I was really happy. Sometimes, yeah, I miss my long hair, but I really like my short hair and it's growing, but I like it. Also, as I mentioned before, make sure you know exactly what hairstyle you want, and do some research and know how you're supposed to cut it if you want it a certain way, so you don't just like start cutting and then end up with something you don't want. Now, if you start cutting your hair and you realize that you're not going to be able to cut it, then stop and go get it cut professionally. You don't want to just ruin your hair, and that would be a mess. Or at least get help from somebody that knows what they're doing. For the first time when I cut my hair, I didn't know what I was doing. I was just kind of cutting it, but it turned out fine. I hope this was a little bit helpful, and if you still have any questions, just please write them down and I will answer them. If you end up cutting your hair, tell me how it turned out, and if you have any other tips, please also share them with me and everyone else. I wish you the best of luck cutting your hair. Don't mess up. Have fun. And remember, most importantly, use sharp scissors. You don't want split ends. Thank you so much for watching this video. Please give it a thumbs up, subscribe. See you next time. Bye!